The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for riveting interviews with Emily Camaione. She's the home leader and administrator at Syracuse Adult and Teen Challenge Women's Home. And then Charlie Van Patten stops by, owner of Mattress Makers. Joe Stanley Esquire, the founding partner of the Stanley Law Offices, will stop by for a conversation. And then finally, Liz Crescenda is the territory executive of the ALS Association Northeast Territory. We'll have a detailed conversation.
Tom, you are really good at reading names.
Yeah, you got to practice.
You take that seriously. Right? People that get their names slaughtered all the time, you don't do that.
Yeah, well, it's not too hard. You just got to ask them,
right?
What it is, and people will still do that. I'm still insulted what they do with the wedding reception.
You told me they just say, "Here they are," and they all walk in.
That's it.
That is so lazy.
There's here are the bridesmaids and here are the groomsmen. Well, why bother learning anyone's name?
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. But we do know Emily Camaione, home leader and administrator. That's a big title.
It is.
She's very powerful, Tom.
Have you been over there long?
So I have been working with New York Adult and Teen Challenge since the end of September, but our women's home opened in November.
All right. Well, explain to us, what is the organization and how does the women's home fit into this organization?
Yeah. So New York Adult and Teen Challenge has actually been in Syracuse for over 50 years.
Okay.
And we're under Teen Challenge USA, so that's all over the U.S. and in other countries too. So it's not just subject to Syracuse. But yes, we've had a men's home for 50 years right on Furman Street in the city.
What is it? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So we are a faith-based rehabilitation program. But what we really emphasize is that it's not just for like drugs and alcohol addiction. It's really any life-controlling issue. So we do have people who come in that have been dealing with depression and anxiety, eating disorders, all kinds of things. So it's not just subject to one specific thing. But we have people that come in with all sorts of different issues, but our doors are always open.
Well, when Teen Challenge started 50 years ago, I think you said, that was New York City, and it was based on in dealing with some folks that had drug issues and things.
Yeah.
And there was a faith-based option, and it was really successful. That's what I remember the story.
Yeah.
And then it went. I mean, you said how many? They're all over the country, right?
They're all over the country. They're all over the world. It's not just subject to the United States.
Wow.
Okay. So it's a live-in program.
It is. Yep,
okay, but it has been male until now?
So they've been largely male, the men's homes, but over the last several years, we've been opening. We have like adolescent programs for teenagers. We do also have women's programs as well.
So if somebody was struggling with something, how do they find you? And is everybody welcome?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we are a faith-based program, so we really do emphasize on like discipleship and specific like Christianity faith.
Sure.
So as long as people are comfortable with that.
Right, yeah.
But definitely, I mean, anybody is welcome to fill out an application and see if our program's a good fit.
So it's not court mandated, or is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, so it's volunteer.
Yes, it is completely volunteer. Some people have come through our program as that's an option, and they are court mandated to come through. But it's not only that.
Right. So now we're talking to women, which really wasn't. I always, two things. It was called Teen Challenge, and every time I ever met somebody, they were never a teen.
Right.
Okay, they were always an adult.
Yeah.
There weren't a whole lot of, and I think because it originated with youth, but it was always men. When did they open up the doors to having some ladies in the programs?
So at least in Syracuse, this has been a work in progress well before even 2019 when we really started like hitting the ground running with finding a facility. But so I don't know like the exact date that like other teen challenges have opened women's homes. But for us, like that dream casting like really started back in 2019. Then we had like the COVID pandemic happened and shut everything down. So everything was kind of at a standstill. And just over the last couple years, like things have really taken off with finding like the funding and a home. We've got this beautiful 6,000 square foot home for these women to be in.
Where is that located?
Yeah, so we're in East Syracuse off Colomer Road. We're like right across from Life Church.
Okay, I know where that is. Yeah. So why is Emily there? Serious question, because you're a smart, talented young lady that certainly has a lot of options. So this seems kind of hardcore. I don't know for like, this isn't a cushy job.
Right. No. It's really not.
Do you do some of the counseling as well, or?
Yes and no. So we do we partner with a Christian counseling organization, and they do. We have like licensed health professionals,
therapists and things.
That do like the real deep things. I really do a lot of the conversations. I do a lot of teaching when it comes to our curriculum, counseling on like the Bible and other faith things, but
okay.
So what did you do before this?
I actually worked for a credit union. I was working from home, answering phones.
Okay, and you saw an opportunity and went, okay, God, is this maybe something I want to be interested in?
Kind of. So I would have never put myself with Teen Challenge, if I'm being completely honest. Right. I've known about Teen Challenge for a long time, and it was never something that I was interested in partnering with. But I went to Elam Bible Institute. That's where I got my degree from, and I've done other schooling outside of that. But I've always wanted to be involved in ministry in some way, shape, or form. So this last year, I have been working with a bank. I've done a lot of work with executive business, and I just kind of felt like there was a change that was needed. Right after my husband and I got married, we were kind of looking at different options for us both, and he came across a posting for Teen Challenge.
Hey, honey, look at this. One of those deals?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And I said, what is that? And he was like, it's Teen Challenge. I said, oh, that's okay. and he was like, no, like I think you'd be really great at that. And he believes in me more than like anybody else in the world,
that's
I'm
wonderful.
sure. So he sent it to me, and I sent my resume to Pastor Rashad Hamden, who's the director over Syracuse and all of New York now. He called me and he said, you'll never believe it, I just had a conversation with my wife and thought that you would be a really great fit for this program, and I'd love to bring you in. So that's like the short version of what happened, but so once that happened, we just moved right along.
So you mentioned funding. How can people contribute to this organization to help with the funding?
Yes, we've got a really great opportunity with our $1 a day program, where people can actually sponsor a resident for $30 a month. Of course, we're not limited to that. We do take other monetary donations, one-time donations, regular monthly donations, that can all be done electronically on our website. The other option is if people want to donate their time or just other types of things for the home. Like I said, the home just opened, and so we're definitely open to volunteers coming in, teaching classes, things like that.
And I know Teen Challenge, and I saw this years ago, Tom, has one of the lowest recidivism. What's the word when you go back in and you recycle into the addiction? Where you go back, it's a big long word.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. Where this faith-based program, where other programs have high percentages, Teen Challenge is hardcore, and it's unapologetically Christian. And I like that about them. But I have seen many, all males at this point, I don't know any ladies that went through it, change lives.
There's a lot of success stories.
A lot of success, change lives. So I love the fact that you're there, and I love the fact that the community has something that now can reach out to females. If someone was considering wanting to have a conversation or know somebody, 478-4139.
Yep.
And they can they ask for you?
They sure can.
All right, 478-4139, New York and AdultTeenChallenge.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys.